Hey everyone, so welcome to our understanding of the current sky, the current transit. And as you know, I don't make transit videos so often, only when I do feel it's interesting, when I do feel that um, is going to be doing something beautiful up in the sky. And beautiful doesn't mean that it's all, you know, heavenly and good. I mean, it'll display a very beautiful effect, regardless of it being benefic or malefic. So, the way I wanted to see this transit of Jupiter, because Jupiter is going to go direct on, I believe, August 11th this month, and it's around 21 degrees right now. Okay, and by early January, it's going to enter Sagittarius. So right now, what's happening interesting is that Jupiter and Saturn are in a 112 relationship. So Saturn's in Sagittarius, Jupiter is in Scorpio. Jupiter is 12th from Saturn. Okay? So try to understand this, what it means, because Saturn is our karma, our action. Okay? The actions we take, the karmas that we perform to fulfill certain duty, certain commitment, certain obligation to society. It is simply, our ability to execute our past life debts. That's what Saturn is, in a nutshell. And then Jupiter provides wisdom. Jupiter provides intelligence, knowledge. Okay. Jupiter is also expansion of everything. Jupiter doesn't necessarily represent good and beautiful expansion. Jupiter represents any kind of expansion. So if, let's say, moon is, bringing some kind of a depression to a person, but yet their Jupiter is with moon, well, what Jupiter can do in a certain instant, it can expand that depression. Its job is for expansion. It's like knowing that a tiger is going to hunt, knowing that a wolf is going to be part of a pack and hunt. They're not going to eat grass. So it's the same thing with the planets too. They're always performing their constitution, their dharma. Dharma doesn't necessarily mean something good or bad or something peaceful. It is what they're to do. So that's what Jupiter is. And Jupiter can be extremely heavy because obviously, as you know, it is known as the heavy one. Jupiter brings about a lot of responsibility, perhaps more than even Saturn. Because, see, Saturn is just a servant. Saturn is given a duty and Saturn performs it. Says, okay, you want me to sweep this floor? You want me to clean these televisions and these table? All right, I'll do it. Where Jupiter person or Jupiter's energy is, okay, you've got to take care of these thousands of people and you've got to provide them guidance so they can go out there and execute and do better for the kingdom. It's a heavy energy. You got a heavy duty upon you. You got to show them the right path in life. You've got to show them the right way in life. So that is more heavier than just sweeping the floor and cleaning the thing. Okay. So here you have the servant, you have Saturn, and Jupiter is 12th from itself. And 12th house is representing loss of something, expenses of something, unknowing, meaning like not understanding or knowing something which is beyond our capability of understanding. Because 12th houses, that's why it represents spirituality, because it's something you don't know and you're needing to discover it. It's like yoga. Yoga is something that helps you understand what you cannot understand or what you cannot see. So now what we see is that because Jupiter specifically is going to be around the Yoga Tara of Mula Nakshatra, not even just Scorpio. I mean, astronomically, the Yoga Tara of Mula Nakshatra is around 23 degrees of Scorpio. And Jupiter is going to be transiting that. While Saturn is in Purvashada. Okay, and Saturn is going to be, I believe, entering Uttra Ashada soon. Not anytime soon. Let me just make sure what pada it's at. Yeah, it's at third pada, so pretty much in a couple of months it's gonna enter, the, well, no, not couple of months. It'll be till January. Not even January, I'm sorry. No. It'll be a couple of months till it enters, Uttarashada. So here what we see is that in the world, the action is going to be performed. The duty is going to be performed, okay, without the backing of wisdom, without the backing of knowledge and intelligence. So that's the first thing that we understand. And because of the fact the intelligence itself is now going in a black hole, because Yoga Tara of Mula is right at the center of black hole, intelligence completely vanishes and goes away. And so here you will see an interesting drama play out, especially in a mundane sense, where actions will be taken without possibility of its consequences. One will just do things, not understanding that how much destruction, how much damage can my actions do. And because usually a 12th house Jupiter becomes like a support system, right? So any planet 12th from itself kind of becomes a lenient, energy for the other planet. Like a planet relies, they fall back on that particular entity, that planet. So in a way, Jupiter could be good for Saturn, but the problem is because Jupiter is in such a destructive place that Jupiter can't even help itself. How is it going to help Saturn? So here, what we need to understand is you will see many people in government being government servants, because Saturn really is like a government servant. It's an administrator. It's the one who sweeps and cleans things in the government. There will be action taken without any sense of morality, without any sense of intelligence. Like, people will be wondering around the world, why are they doing this? So especially between now and January 12th, I would probably won't even say till January 12th, until like literally April, May of next year, because Jupiter is then going to enter Sagittarius in January. But still, it is not nakshatra of Mula. Jupiter's intelligence is only going to function one way. That in order for me to do something better, I have to destroy something. I have to clean something. So just because it's entered Sagittarius, people think it's a hopeful sign. It's a sign which represents, higher knowledge and wisdom and happy travels. But you don't understand, there's only certain sections that would provide that. And especially in Mula Nakshatra, actually, if you really honestly look at it, Sagittarius is not just a happy hunky-dory sign. Destruction comes with Mula. War comes with Purva Shada. Strategies come with Purva Shada. And again, a person is fighting later battles in Uttarashada. Sagittarius is not just this beautiful sign that just makes you very hopeful and jolly. Either a person busy destroying things, or a person is always strategizing things and always trying to strategically look at things can be very overwhelming for the mind. One can just feel crazy like, oh my God, I'm doing too much thinking. I'm doing too much analysis here. I need time off. And this is why you see that on the Purva Shada side, people will mainly take a lot of vacations because they do so much strategic thinking, so much strategic intelligence that they're like, I want to get away. But this 112 relationship is very interesting because let's say if Jupiter was in Libra, Virgo, Leo or something, Jupiter actually would have provided some wisdom, a backing of wisdom for Saturn. So if let's say Saturn was in Virgo, Jupiter was in Leo, one would have had some sort of a ability to rely on a guru, But here now, Guru is in a very destructive place. So even the wisdom that is coming from the backing will be very destructive. It's like, okay, destroy these, clean things out. But also you have to understand on the beautiful side is that Mula Nakshatra really represents Kali. Okay, and Kali is a particular goddess who helps us clean our clutter, helps us clean our messes. So if your room is completely messy and you cannot take it because your mind is being affected by the clutter on your table, by the clutter in your room, well, Kali says, I have a very easy solution for you. Here, let me help you. She completely cleans out the entire room with one sweep. Done. It's an empty room now. And first, the mind does not take it. Like, oh my God, what did you do with all my stuff? It's gone. But then once you settle down, you're like, it's a clean room. I can start over. I can, arrange things in a more neat and clean manner. Okay, makes sense. Maybe I shouldn't be so quick to curse you or to be angry at you for destroying things. So in a beautiful way, Jupiter can actually give the wisdom to clean things. But again, Saturn is with Ketu. There are, this is a beautiful alignment of moksha energy. Why? Because Ketu is moksha karka. 1. Saturn is brahmacharya, which is again moksha. Saturn is the karka of the 12th, moksha. So if you really look at it, Saturn really behaves like Ketu, and Ketu behaves like Saturn more than Mars. And Rahu is always wanting things now, wanting to conquer things now. It's really behaving like, Mars, if you really look at it. But here now you have 2 planets who are providing this moksha to just let go. While the intelligence which is behind it is also saying, let's destroy and let go. So this is going to be interesting time on a mundane level where there could be a lot of destructive patterns by country to clean things out because they just feel like we just have to do it. On a regular individual horoscope level, you want to see, which house Saturn's in, which house Jupiter's in, and usually a person will feel like I need to clean and uproot things in order for me to perform my task, in order for me to perform my duties. Like for example, you've got Saturn in your 7th house with Ketu from your ascendant. Jupiter is in the 6th house. And especially now that it's going direct towards the Yoga Tara of Mula. And then it's going to be entering that energy of Sagittarius. The mind is going to be like, I want to clean things and just finish things off so I can restart things. In my relationships, in my partnerships, my business. This is especially this particular period once it goes direct, especially from 23 degrees onwards, a person will be very much inclined towards not wanting to deal with other people. So like you will see with Gemini ascendant people, they will have no nonsense attitude. They will just look for chances to just clean you out, whether to fire you, whether to, break up with you, whatever it is. So, in a way, if you know your boss has a Gemini ascendant, maybe don't push his buttons until at least Jupiter comes in its own sign and starts protecting the sign. But even then, Sagittarius, as I told you, it's not an easy sign to deal with, especially when you have a heavy Jupiter and you have heavy constellation rising in Sagittarius. But you have to look at the beautiful picture. It's like things that you could not clean and destroy, you automatically find the intelligence that keeps whispering in your ear. Clean things out. This sort of thing. And especially right now, this 112 relationships is really important for rituals. Performing rituals. Like, there's all kinds of religion, there's all kinds of culture out there. Performing any kind of a religious and spiritual ritual, especially that involves smoke, like for example, sage, incense, fire smoke, it will help Jupiter to calm its energy down. Smoke is very, very important once Jupiter goes direct, especially until like 10 degrees of Sagittarius. It's very important, like to do certain rituals, to do certain practices, whether you do meditation, even let's say you're Muslim, if you're reading the Quran, just have an incense next to you. Or just have incense. I don't care what religion you're in, incense is incense. There's no God stamp on it saying that this is only for this religion. Just have an incense and the smoke will start calming your intelligence down. Because right now, temporarily, because Jupiter represents divine intelligence, everybody's gonna be on their original Jupiter and this particular Jupiter wavelength. So some wavelength will be this, some wavelength will be this, some wavelength will be this, some wavelength will be like completely sporadic. So that's one thing that would calm things down. And the other thing that I will also advise, especially during this period, do a lot of hiking if you can. Go on hikes. If you can visit certain mountains, peaks, do that, because Sagittarius is about climbing. And so climbing will help the energy of Jupiter. But of course, if you don't climb mountains, don't go climb mountains. Just go on like a nice hike. If you have, small plateaus and peaks in your city. So that will be good. But mainly, the most easiest thing with this is to use smoke. The other most important things, which of course I'm in the middle of making that documentary, is plant something in the ground, root something in the ground. So when you plant a tree or some small little flower plant in your backyard, in your front yard, that energy of Mula that Jupiter is now going to be entering into. So you do these things with nature that actually helps the balancing of the energy. Okay. So hopefully, just wanted to give this little peek into this beautiful alignment, which will help you most definitely understand astrology to a higher level. It's enough with the basic transit and all that. You guys have seen and watched all of them. It's time to get a little bit more beautiful with certain alignments of planets. Okay. So we will probably see you later. Maybe I'll cover all the ascendants with this. Who knows? Okay. Bye-bye.